overall, a very strong showing for Warner Brothers. I'm critical of Warner Brothers as a company, but they could have messed it up even worse. They did a fairly good job with marketing Dune. Could have been better. I think we all agree it could have been a lot better, but the numbers are in, and apparently Dune has beat out Black Widow in box office performance. I ran across this just an hour ago, and I'm like, I was a little skeptical because I was like, well, Dune has done pretty well, but I'm like, did it beat Black Widow? Really? Because despite what people think, Black Widow actually did fairly decent box office. But yes, it's true. It's by a small amount, but Dune has legitimately beaten Black Widow, especially in terms of international box office. Black Widow had a very strong opening and it was able to surpass 100 million easily, but it didn't in terms of international box office. Now, to be fair, technically, I believe it still can open in China. So its total box office in terms of its entire lifetime might be bigger than Dune. But in terms of 2021, Dune has officially beaten Black Widow. And I think Black Widow's okay. I gave it a fair score of 6.5. I know some people think that's too generous, but there we are. We're going to have to disagree on that. And in other news, The Matrix appears to be going very well on several levels. I'm going to concentrate on two things, but there's many other things because some TV spots have been released that have given us a few more secrets, but technically there's no second trailer, so I'm going to wait a little bit longer for that. We all know it's coming. So the first thing is it's going to be R-rated. I know a lot of people misperceive The Matrix as much more for a younger audience, but nope. It is legitimately an R-rated film, and they're going to maintain an R rating for the theatrical release. It's also being released on HBO Max, and they've had censorship issues, but hopefully we are going to get The Matrix undiluted and in a fairly raw, pure form. And I'm sincerely pumped for it. I gotta be honest, when the early news came out, I was like, Neil Patrick Harris, a therapist? They're replacing Morpheus? Kinda not sure, but I think they've done a lot to really bring me back, and a lot of the new characters are very fascinating. I know some people are already panicking that too many women have guns and power, but again, until I see the movie, I'm not going to prejudge. And if you think this is out of step for The Matrix or the directors, I mean, their first film was about a bunch of lesbians taking on the mob, so I just don't think you understand where they're coming from. And finally, a big revelation, because they've been revealing a little bit more about the characters, but now it is official that yes, Sati has returned in The Matrix, played by Chopra. A lot of people did speculate she was Sati. She could also still be the Oracle. Again, we don't know yet. We don't know what's happened to the Oracle, but apparently she is, yes, playing Sati. But where or who Sati will line up with, we don't know. I think people lazily assume Sati is on the side of the humans, but remember, she's a program, so technically she is part of the Matrix, and the Matrix is defined as a system of control. So we're going to have to wait and see what the twist is with Sati, but yep, it is now officially listed. That is who she is. That is who she is playing. But a lot of speculation videos are over and theory videos are done, but it's a lot more to speculate and theorize about what she will be doing. Is she going to be with Neo or against him and Trinity in this latest iteration of the Matrix? We shall have to wait and see. Yeah, interesting news on the box office front for Dune. I think most people just assumed it's going to do pretty well, but it's not going to be able to reach Marvel numbers. Well, it apparently has. And in a final note, apparently Denis actually supported ScarJo in her lawsuit. I covered this lawsuit. I did not know that. So it's interesting. I covered a lot of things about Dune and read up a lot on Denis, but I missed this. So it's an interesting fun fact. Yeah, he was on ScarJo's side. So there we go. So kind of ironic then. But we shall wait and see how this all turns out. But at least in the foreseeable future, 2021 will close out with Dune being the stronger box office juggernaut than Black Widow. Thanks for listening.